says that it's very popular among all people in England.
Hey food lover, take a seat and watch this fascinating episode. We're about to reveal foods so controversial they've been banned, restricted, or driven underground in America. A tiny songbird eaten whole under a napkin, a cheese crawling with thousands of wriggling maggots, a fruit so deadly one bite could shut down your liver. For some, they're delicacies passed down for centuries. For others, they're dangerous, even illegal.
I would not survive in prison.
From the national dish of Scotland, outlawed for over 50 years, to horse meat, once a symbol of the Wild West, these are the foods the US doesn't want you to eat. Why were they banned? Is it about culture, safety, or something much darker? Let's uncover the shocking truth behind America's most controversial forbidden foods. Ortolan bunting, banned luxury on a plate. A single bite of this tiny forbidden bird has been called heavenly by some, and a fast track to hell by others. This is the story of a food you'll likely never taste, and the disturbing secret behind why it's banned. For centuries, this songbird was the ultimate luxury in French cuisine, a meal for the rich and powerful. Even former French President François Mitterrand chose it for his legendary last meal. But what makes this bird, no bigger than your thumb, so infamous? It's all in the process. First, birds are captured and kept in dark boxes for weeks. Darkness tricks them into gorging on grains and figs until they swell to nearly 4 times their size. Next, they're drowned in Armagnac brandy, which both kills and marinates them from the inside out. After being roasted whole, the bizarre dining ritual begins. Diners cover their heads with a napkin, some say to trap the aroma, others to hide their faces from God in shame. With heads hidden, they place the entire bird in their mouths, feet first, and chew slowly through bones, organs, and rich fat until only the beak remains. So why was this centuries-old tradition banned? 2 reasons: extreme cruelty and conservation. The preparation is now condemned as barbaric, and the bird's population has collapsed, down nearly 90% in Europe since 1980. As demand grew, the EU declared the Ortolan a protected species, and France eventually banned hunting. That's why you can't get it in the United States. International wildlife agreements and US law make it completely illegal to eat, buy, or import the Ortolan to prevent the species from being eaten into extinction. Horse meat, forbidden feast of the West. American grocery stores have beef, pork, and chicken, but why no horse meat? It's not illegal to eat, yet you can't buy it in the US. It's a tangled web of cultural taboos and laws that killed an industry. The main reason comes down to money. For meat to be sold, it must be inspected by the USDA. Since 2007, Congress has refused to fund inspectors for horse slaughterhouses. No inspectors means no inspections, and no meat can be sold. It's a catch-22. This funding block shut down the industry without an official ban. Some states went further. Texas and Illinois, with strong horse traditions, banned horse slaughter. California and New Jersey did the same. Even if federal funding returned, this patchwork of state bans makes a national industry impossible. Beyond laws, there's a major cultural roadblock. In the US, horses are seen as companions and symbols of the Wild West, not food. This is a powerful taboo. Polls show over 80% of Americans oppose slaughtering horses for food. With strong public opinion, no politician supports it, reinforcing the status quo. There are also safety concerns. Unlike cows, US horses aren't raised for food and often receive medications, like painkillers, banned in animals for human consumption. Without a tracking system, the meat could be unsafe. Here's the grim paradox: the trade didn't stop, it just moved. Tens of thousands of American horses are shipped to Canada and Mexico yearly for slaughter, often under brutal travel conditions. Ackee fruit, toxic treasure of Jamaica. This fruit looks harmless, but one bite could kill you. Imagine a country's national fruit being illegal to eat raw in the US because it can be fatal. This is the story of a deadly toxin and a terrifying illness called Jamaican vomiting sickness. We uncover the shocking truth behind the ackee fruit, a forbidden food with a story you'll never forget. Before the poison, know what ackee means to Jamaica. It's their national fruit, a powerful symbol of heritage, and the star of their national dish, ackee and saltfish. Its creamy, buttery texture, almost like scrambled eggs, makes it a beloved staple. But if it's so cherished, why is raw ackee banned in the United States? The answer: a potent toxin called hypoglycin A. Eat unripe or poorly prepared ackee, and this toxin shuts down your liver's ability to release glucose. Your blood sugar crashes. What follows is horrifying: vomiting, seizures, coma, and in the worst cases, death. The key to eating this deadly fruit safely is ripeness, a science passed down for generations. Ackee is safe only after it fully ripens and splits open naturally on the tree. A closed pod is pure poison. Even when ripe, its black seeds and red rind stay toxic and must be discarded. Boiling the fruit is common, but boiling an unripe ackee won't save you. Because of this danger, the FDA banned raw ackee imports in 1973, and that ban still stands. Yet since 2000, canned ackee has been allowed in US stores, but only from FDA-approved companies following strict protocols and testing every batch for safe toxin levels. Nutraloaf, the prison loaf controversy. There's a food in America so controversial, it's been sued over and restricted in several states, yet it's still served in some US prisons as punishment. It's called Nutraloaf, also known as prison loaf, a meal designed to be awful. Up next, we reveal how it's made and the legal battle over whether it violates basic human rights.
I would not survive in prison.
It's served to inmates for misbehavior. Officials call it a practical solution, providing full nutrition without utensils that could be weaponized. The recipe is a mashup of vegetables, beans, and breadcrumbs, baked into a solid, unseasoned brick. The point isn't flavor, it's punishment. Nutraloaf is infamous for a reason. Its flavor is described as bland, its texture as dense and mushy. But the real punishment is psychological. Being served the same unappetizing block for every meal is considered dehumanizing. It's often delivered in a paper bag, without utensils, stripping away dignity. Critics argue that if a food is so unpalatable people choose starvation, it's effectively a denial of food. The controversy centers on the Eighth Amendment's ban on cruel and unusual punishment. While prisons defend the loaf as nutritionally complete, the tide is turning. The Vermont Supreme Court ruled that serving Nutraloaf requires a formal hearing. A key federal case, Prude v. Clark, found it could violate the Eighth Amendment if it causes actual harm, like severe weight loss. This led states like New York, Pennsylvania, and California to ban or restrict it. Yet it's still used elsewhere, creating a reality where a food deemed inhumane for some prisoners is acceptable for others. Whale meat, outlawed tradition on a plate. Imagine a food so controversial, just possessing it could land you in prison. It's not a drug, it's whale meat, eaten for centuries in parts of the world. In the US, its ban is a mix of legal drama, cultural clashes, and a desperate fight to save the ocean's most majestic creatures. The ban comes from two powerful 1970s laws, the Marine Mammal Protection Act and the Endangered Species Act. Together they make it illegal to hunt, harm, or import marine mammals. Decades of whaling pushed many species to the brink of extinction. The penalties are severe, prison time and fines up to $100,000. This isn't just theory. A sushi bar in Santa Monica was shut down after an undercover sting exposed them serving endangered sei whale meat. For some indigenous communities in Alaska and Washington, whaling is a tradition thousands of years old. For the Maker tribe, hunting whales isn't just food, it's identity, a right guaranteed in an 1855 treaty. The government allows limited non-commercial hunts under strict quotas. Selling whale meat remains illegal, but this exception shows the clash between federal law and ancient traditions. After decades of legal battles, the Maker tribe is close to securing a federal waiver to resume hunting. Beyond law and culture, this ban is about conservation. The ban became a last effort to save them. Whales are essential for a healthy ocean. Their waste fertilizes phytoplankton, tiny organisms producing half the oxygen we breathe. When whales die, their bodies sink, locking carbon on the ocean floor, helping stabilize Earth's climate. Casu Marzu, deadly cheese of Sardinia.
Italy is well known for its fine fine wine, and oh so delicious food. And on the island of Sardinia,
This cheese is so dangerous, it was named the world's most dangerous cheese by Guinness World Records in 2009. It's a traditional Italian delicacy, but it's also crawling with thousands of live maggots. Governments banned it, calling it a potential health nightmare. On the Italian island of Sardinia, shepherds craft a legendary cheese called Casu Marzu, meaning rotten cheese. For centuries it's been a symbol of Sardinian culture, served at weddings and family celebrations. The process starts with a wheel of pecorino cheese. Cheesemakers allow flies to lay eggs inside. These hatch into thousands of larvae. As the maggots eat, their digestive process breaks down fats, transforming the hard texture into a soft, creamy paste. This extreme fermentation creates a pungent, spicy flavor fans describe as intense. The cheese is ready only when it's alive, with wriggling worms. Casu Marzu is outlawed in the US and Europe for one reason: the maggots. Health officials fear the larvae could survive stomach acid and infest intestines. This condition, called pseudomyiasis, causes nausea, abdominal pain, and bloody diarrhea. There are no confirmed cases linking Casu Marzu to this illness, but the risk was enough for regulators to act. The US FDA bans all foods deemed infested, and EU food laws outlaw it too. Yet in Sardinia, a thriving black market keeps the cheese alive as a point of cultural pride. Those daring enough spread it on flatbread, often with the live maggots still writhing inside. Tradition warns, if the maggots are dead, the cheese has turned toxic and is no longer safe to eat. Haggis, outlawed pride of Scotland. It's the national dish of Scotland, a symbol of pride, celebrated with poetry and whiskey. It all comes down to one ingredient the US government declared unfit for human consumption, banned in the United States for over 50 years. Haggis isn't a creature from the Highlands. The wild story of haggis will surprise you. It's a savory pudding made from sheep's pluck, heart, liver and lungs, minced with onion, oatmeal, suet and spices. The mix is packed into a sheep's stomach and boiled. The result is described as a peppery, crumbly dish born of necessity, ensuring no part of the animal went to waste.
It says that it's very popular among all people in England.
Over time, it became a powerful symbol of Scottish identity. In 1971, the US Department of Agriculture banned livestock lungs in food, making authentic haggis illegal overnight. Officials cited safety concerns, claiming stomach fluids could contaminate lungs during slaughter. In 1989, a ban on British lamb and beef was added over mad cow disease. The lamb ban was lifted in 2022, but the lung ban remains. This ban resonates because haggis is central to Burns Night, Scotland's annual celebration of poet Robert Burns. Every January 25th, a ceremonial haggis is brought in, led by a bagpiper. A speaker recites Burns's 1786 poem, praising the great chieftain o' the puddin' race, before slicing it open. Traditionally, it's served with mashed turnips and potatoes, neeps and tatties. Unable to import the real thing, American-made versions without lungs fill the gap. Scottish producers like Maxwell of Edinburgh created US-compliant recipes, selling them in Canada and planning to bring them to the States. Surströmming, Sweden rotten fish delicacy. This bulging can holds one of the world's most feared foods, surströmming. This fish is so potent, it's rumored to be banned in America. We opened a can to show why some call it a delicacy and others a biohazard. Surströmming is a traditional Swedish dish of fermented Baltic herring. The fermentation is so intense, cans bulge. Its infamous smell, compared to rotten eggs and rancid butter, makes it one of the strongest food odors on Earth. This reputation fueled viral Surströmming challenge videos, where people gag and flee after opening a can. Those clips convinced many this fish must be illegal in the US. Here's the truth: Surströmming is not banned. It's legal to buy and ship. The myth comes from airlines refusing to carry it, fearing pressurized cans could burst and release the odor. People also confuse EU rules on dioxin levels with US laws. But those don't apply here. The ban is pure fiction. The real story is about culture, not laws. In America, Surströmming became a gross-out challenge. In Sweden, it's a cherished tradition. At outdoor Surströmming skiva parties, it's served on flatbread with potatoes, onions, and sour cream, balancing its intense flavor and smell. The disgust in challenge videos comes from eating it out of context, pure culture shock. While Surströmming is legal, other foods aren't. Haggis, Scotland's national dish, has been banned in the US since 1971 because it contains sheep's lung, which the USDA prohibits.